segment talking a little bit more about the Illuminati, of course. This is, again, a fascinating area, and a lot of people are looking at this now, researching this and trying to figure out, what hidden hand actually is controlling the world. And what a lot of people miss right away, which is to me at least so obvious and stands out right away, is that if you actually go and look at the founder of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt, it says that he from the start was trained as a Jesuit, and this is, to me, stands out like that. That there are clear connections here again between the Illuminati and the Jesuits, but a few people have said that no, he actually did want to break away from the Jesuits. He was he had other ideas basically. But what would you say about that?
Great lie. That's the lie that the Jesuits, conspiratorial historians, want us to believe to separate the Illuminati from the Jesuit order. And if we believe that lie, we will always come to a dead end as to who runs it. It's just like Himmler, renouncing Freemasonry. Absurd. Hjalmar Schacht was a 33rd degree Freemason. He was Hitler's banker. He ran the Reichsbank. He financed the building of the German war machine. Absurd to say the Third Reich was against Freemasonry. And you have these high Masons financing it and being a part of it. No.
Well, yeah, exactly. Wasn't it even... let's see now, the castle, they had the castle, the Nazis, where Wewelsburg, that's right, yeah. They even had, I think in one of the rooms, they had the big, not the zodiac, but a 12-pointed star, basically, with the relics from around the world, basically, and it seems like very much this was inspired by going back to the Knights of the Round Table, basically.
That's right. And remember, Himmler had patterned the SS after the Jesuit order. He regarded himself as the Jesuit general and his top Nazi generals as his assistants, as the Jesuit general calls his assistants. Okay? And they each sat on a high-back chair with their name in silver on each high-back chair around this huge table in this grand room at Wewelsburg.
How about Skull and Bones at Yale University?
Yeah, it started in 1832 by the Jesuits by way of high-level Freemasonry, bringing that into the U.S. And they started it in a Protestant seminary to make it look like all this was Protestant and not Catholic. Because there were still many people aware of the fact there was a Vatican conspiracy to overthrow our Protestant nation at that time. So instead of using the Catholics to do it and going by way of the papacy, they went by way of the apostate Protestants that were full of Freemasons.
And and I obviously forgot to ask you the most important question about the Illuminati here.
Are we recording now?
We are recording, yes, that's right.
All right. Okay.
The most obvious question about the Illuminati is, of course, if there actually is an order still around today with this name. Do you know if that is the case?
Well, I believe the past recordings and speakings of John Todd. I know that many feel that he's discredited, but nonetheless, I have no doubt that he was a member of the Illuminati, of the Grand Druid Council in England. And so, most assuredly, there is an Illuminati that exists, a Grand Council there, I believe, of 13. And but that Illuminati Council are really the bankers for the Vatican, doing the bidding of the Jesuit order. And Alberto Rivera and John Todd were in agreement when they spoke to each other on this. Alberto Rivera was an ex-Jesuit, and John Todd was an ex-Grand Druid. John Todd, they railroaded him into prison. I don't know if he's still there or not, but they silenced him. Alberto Rivera was killed. He was murdered. He was poisoned.
Yeah, that seems to be the simplest method. Just kill them off one by one, and no problem there, right?
That's right.
One thing also that I've been intrigued by when studying history, and again considering that we're in Sweden here, going back to World War II, one thing that puzzles me very much is why Sweden actually seems to be one country that that never was invaded during the Second World War. And this is something that I've been pondering upon what the reason for this might be, and if we consider what we were talking about earlier with the Vatican connections with the Nazis and what has been going on, also of course consequently with the Cold War and all this. But Do you have any idea why Sweden was spared, as it were, during World War II?
Yes, Sweden, like Portugal and Spain, were to remain neutral during World War II, and that was planned that way. The Nazis needed Swedish steel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so Sweden was very important for that economy, and so it remained neutral during the war, and also there was atomic development, research and development going on in Sweden on behalf of the Nazis, the Germans. Remembering, of course, that the Americans and the Germans and the Nazis, they were all working together, and the Japanese in atomic development.
Yeah.
We're not enemies at the top. We have to remember that during World War II, at the top, Hirohito, FDR, Stalin, Hitler, Churchill, Franco, Mussolini, they all worked together. King of Sweden, they all worked together. It was the delusion of putting it on the people that we have two opposing factions when there was, in fact, no such thing. Okay, so Sweden. What happened in Sweden? Well, I'll tell you this, that at the end of the war, Heinrich Himmler wasn't murdered. He wasn't killed by the British. There's a book called SS-1, The Unlikely Death of Heinrich Himmler, and it was put out just a couple of years ago by Hugh, I forget his last name. But in that book, he shows that the pictures taken of Himmler by the British were obviously not Heinrich Himmler. I cover this in my third edition. Heinrich Himmler was working with the Count Bernadotte of Sweden before the end of the war, negotiating his escape through Schellenberg. And Schellenberg was a powerful Nazi general of the Foreign Service. Okay, so it is absolutely, in my mind, settled that the King of Sweden with Count Bernadotte orchestrated and enabled Himmler to escape out of Europe. And he probably died in Sweden.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sheesh.
And, of course, the Jesuits ran the Red Cross. So the Red Cross, openly pretending to do good, was secretly helping to secure all these Nazis out of Europe. And some of this is covered in Loftus's work, Unholy Trinity, where it talks about the Vatican rat lines. But Sweden was used to this end, and it's very intriguing that some of the Jews that had escaped the Holocaust and they became Israelis, in 1948, they knew Bernadotte was a traitor.
Really?
So they killed him. Count Bernadotte was killed outside of Jerusalem, I believe, in 1948. Because certain of these patriotic Jews who wanted their land back knew that he had helped Himmler escape.
Really? Sheesh, I gotta do more research on this. This sounds very interesting indeed.
Connect the Bernadotte, King of Sweden, Himmler, Schellenberg connection. Work on that, and you'll see it all plays out.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, exactly, because what you say about the iron ore again is very correct, and we even have a big company, or had, in Gothenburg in Sweden, called SKF. And it was a ball bearing company that basically supplied both sides during the Second World War, and this among many other things, of course, but these kinds of things, I guess, were part of the fact that Sweden wasn't invaded. They needed the workforce of all the Swedes, supplying both sides of the war with machinery and iron ore and all of this, I guess.
Yes. So we see that these wars are negotiated. These wars are planned business ventures for the benefit of the men at the top who serve the Vatican for a couple of purposes. One of them is to kill heretics and liberals. Now, they not only killed 6.8 million Jews in Eurasia at this time, they also killed tens of millions of German Lutherans. See, one of the purposes for the war was to destroy all the Protestants in Prussia. That's why Hitler deliberately sacrificed his Sixth Army